Hey guys, Jim Chester here, coming live from Chiro Sushi Summit 2018, beautiful city of Las Vegas, Nevada. And I have Dr. Daniel Bay here with me with the Close for Chiro tribe. This guy is just dropping it like it's hot. And we're just going to let him jump right in and say why he does what he does.
Hey, everybody out there. Hey, it's been a while since I've been on the Jim Chester channel.
I know, man.
You know, I remember my first time, it was a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
It's good stuff. It's Chiro Sushi 2018. It is, and it was, everything that it was cracked up to be. It's good people, it's great vibe, and the content is off the hook. What I love is the fact that this is a culmination of art, science, philosophy, and business all wrapped into the one, and that's exactly what I feel is missing in our profession. It's not the individual disciplines, but the fact that it all needs to get integrated at some point. So it's really cool to see that.
Yeah, and I know that there's a lot of influencers under this one roof. How do you think Tristan pulled that off?
Man, I am so glad you asked that question. So I don't want to talk about me. I just want to talk about Tristan Schaub. To pull something like this off, not only is it difficult, it requires a certain level of, and I don't use this word lightly, Jim, genius. We just finished a C4C BDC mashup, and it was like a family feud over lunch. And for those of you who don't know, that's Sean Dill at BDC.
And Lacey Book.
And he put that together off of a whim. He came up with that by himself. He put the people in the room, and he came up with questions for us to ask each other. It's kind of like in friendly competition. But the very fact that he chose those specific questions, that created a tremendous amount of engagement from the audience, as well as some edutainment moments. It's brilliant, it's so creative, and I can't say enough about what Tristan has done with Chiro Sushi. And when I first heard about Chiro Sushi, I thought it was some Asian Chiro thing. And I was like, cool.
You were all in.
Yeah, I was like, cool. And I'm like, I see a scruffy looking dude with a beard and long hair. I'm like, what the heck's going on? But thank God, I engaged early and I followed, and we become good friends, and I follow people. I don't follow brands, because brands are people. And I got to tell you, for everyone out there who's watching this, you got to come next year. And, I have no stake in this, although I wish I did. Oh, gosh. So be here next year. I got Fred Schofield on live right now.
We're missing Fred.
Totally. And then Tucker Max going up. And we had Brian Tracy yesterday, my idol. I was totally starstruck yesterday.
Ed Osborne's here.
Golly, who else we got?
Billy D.
Billy D. Help me out here. Who else
I
we got?
haven't even been in the room, man. I've been out here hustling.
Jeez. Got everyone and anyone that's out here doing their thing. So, hats off to you, Tristan, man. If you watch this, I want to let you know, from my perspective and the people that I represent, they hold you in incredibly high regard. And I want to say that because I know that this work is sometimes unrelenting and sometimes unrewarding, and it's almost not worth it sometimes. So these are the moments. Am I right? Yeah. So these are the moments that I hope that you take, Tristan, and say, hey, you know what? This is why we do what we do. He is absolutely changing stuff. And so are you, Jim.
Aww.
Yeah, Jim, you're another guy that does that. So again, like Jim and Tristan aren't just media outlets. Okay. These are people that have a purpose and a passion, and they're using their expertise and creativity in media outletting to do what they do. It's their tool. But these people are actually what makes it happen. So, man, I can't say enough, man. I'm so stoked to be here. This is awesome.
Can I do a pattern interrupt?
Sure.
So, Michael Tokash, I see you on there, brother. Thank you so much for supporting what they do at Close for Chiro with your imaging services. Thank you so much for supporting the Chiro Hustle movement. We are a media company. We're not just a podcast, guys. So what we do is create content that delivers the goods. That's why we're around 10,000 listens an episode every time, because people are tuning in and we turn them on, because there's so many people out there, I say that they're just finger painting. What we do, Dan, is we're creating masterpieces. Yes. And there's so many people out there that think that they know what they're doing, and they start something, and what do after like 3 months of it?
Yeah, they're just fizzle out.
Yeah, so
I've been there.
There's a lot of people that are there. You know, some people say, I want to write a book, you know, and then they say, I'm going to get 9 chapters down, but there's 12 to go, and they never finish.
Right.
So
we're great starters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you guys do, let's flip the page back to you for a minute. What do you guys do that helps people become the influencers in their clinics?
You know, I was trying to find the best way to communicate this concept that's consumable to, my colleagues is, okay, so let's talk about the art, science, and philosophy of chiropractic over here. And let's talk about the fact that we need to reach our community over here, okay? What I think...
Those were oranges.
Dude, don't get me. See, that's what I deal with every day. Mine is in the gutter. Jeez. So what we try to do is we try to connect the art, science, and philosophy of chiropractic for what it truly is to the general population. And what Close for Chiro does is it bridges that gap. And I guess conceptually, from a continuum, imagery, and that's essentially what we do. Because let's be honest, if everyone knew what we knew, they would do what we do. We've heard that a million times. But why don't they? Because they don't know. So there's a disconnect, and the problem with communicating that bestows, and the responsibility is bestowed upon us. It's not just bestowed upon them. Because if they don't get it, if your patients don't understand why they need chiropractic care or why they don't, it's not them. It's the fact that you did not communicate that properly. It is your responsibility. You take full responsibility 100% of the time. And then when you do, you start to look outside and say, hey, how do I find a way to communicate that stuff better?
Okay, so Mike is still with us. Nate the Skate is over there with 2020 Imaging Booth right over there. Mm-hmm. Why is it so important to have clear images to where you can actually build the case to get people under care?
You know, the bottom line is this, is people, when we talk about the perspective of the prospect, you see, we sell according to the perspective of the salesperson or the chiropractor. So when you think about the perspective of the prospect, you got to think, wait a second, what do they respond to? What do they feel? What do they see? And that's where digital imaging comes into play, or any imaging for that matter, okay? And that's why the imaging king is 2020, just letting you know. Not because they have their product is that much better, because I'm unaffiliated with them. It's not. We can find it. But what comes across them that is the people who provide it, okay? And that's the deal breaker, or that's the tiebreaker. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. How many times have we bought good products only to be let down by the people that support it? Mm-hmm. It happens all the time. So these guys do what they do in great fashion, and in terms of imaging and getting people to see things, that's up to you, the practitioner, and that's you.
Yeah, so teaming up with Close for Chiro, I think you guys were our first sponsor, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we're at episode 52 next. We're at for a year of this.
Yeah, I was episode 3?
Or you're like episode 3 to 5. I don't know.
Like
you're
that,
early on in this whole game.
That's crazy.
And then you're like, you know what? I want to hitch my wagon to you guys.
Yeah.
And I said, I'd love to have you because I love what you guys do, and I think you guys are actually changing the way that people view and receive chiropractic services. Yeah. And there's so many, not to like get heavy-tongued here, but there's a lot of people out there that just don't know the business acumen and the business proposition of running a successful chiropractic office.
Right. Yeah, and I agree with that. So, I can go on forever about that, but it doesn't have to be that way.
You got to come to a master class to get that.
Totally. And Brian Tracy yesterday says, trying to run a business or sell without the proper training is a wonderful method of weight loss because you'll starve. And I love that one because it's so true. So get trained up. Find the experts in your community, in your town, and if it's us, great. I'd love to have you. If it's not, then somebody, because it is a thing that you all have to understand and embrace and learn and engage with. Otherwise,
maybe that's the best weight loss system for chiropractors.
Sometimes we got to hit bottom before we realize we got to do something about it. And, hopefully, I try to keep my colleagues from having to go through that. But if that's what it takes for some of you, then I guess that's what it takes.
Okay. Ethical close time. Yeah. Where do they go to get the master class?
Yeah. www.closeforchiro.com. Close for FOR Chiro.com. Our next one, August 10th and 11th. Chicago.
Yeah, we see you guys.
Yeah, hometown. And you guys can go to our website, www.closeforchiro.com/events, and you'll see our next event on there, and I hope to see you guys there.
Yeah, so I'm going to close out. Is that okay? Okay. So we are here at the beautiful Westgate Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada. I want to send a warm welcome and a thank you to Dr. Tim Schaub and his son Tristan Schaub for carrying the heavy weights to put all of us together under one roof, talking about the one congruent message, locating, detecting, and correcting the vertebral subluxation, keeping that language pure in the chiropractic space. With us at Chiro Hustle, we keep the free speech of chiropractic alive and well.
Yes.
So as us a team, now we are a megaphone to reach more people, to spread more truth, and to get more people with these ideas that chiropractic doesn't need anything extra in it. It simply needs no interference. So I'm going to say, you're just one story away. What do I always say? Keep hustling.
I knew that. It's on your shirt.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.